Today, the Supreme Court delivered a major victory for abortion rights advocates. In a 5-4 ruling, the court struck down a Louisiana law that could have shut down nearly every abortion clinic in that state. Chief Justice John Roberts joined the liberal wing in this decision. CBS's Jan Crawford reports tonight from the Supreme Court.
This Louisiana abortion clinic, the decision was a relief.
To say we're elated hardly begins to come close to what we are feeling.
Kathleen Pittman's Hope Medical Group for Women had argued the Louisiana law, which required doctors to have admitting privileges at nearby hospitals, was an impossible burden. The justices agreed, with conservative Chief Justice John Roberts again casting the deciding vote with liberals to strike down the law. It was the first time in Roberts' career he has voted against an abortion restriction. Writing for the liberals, Justice Stephen Breyer said the Louisiana law poses a substantial obstacle to women seeking an abortion. Roberts wrote his own, more narrow opinion, pointing to a decision 4 years ago that invalidated a nearly identical Texas abortion law. In that case, Roberts joined conservatives in dissent. He wrote today, "I continue to believe that the case was wrongly decided. The question is not whether it was right or wrong, but whether to adhere to it in deciding the present case." That is not the outcome many expected. With the addition of 2 new justices appointed by President Trump, it was widely believed the court was poised to allow greater restrictions on abortion. Conservatives blasted Roberts' decision.
He wants the court to be perceived as apolitical. But unfortunately, by making some of these decisions on a political basis rather than on a legal basis, he's doing the exact opposite.
But siding with liberals is becoming a familiar pattern with Roberts in some of these big cases, going back to 2012 when he provided that key 5th vote to save Obamacare, to the recent ruling preserving DACA. All big disappointments for conservatives. Major?
Jan Crawford, thank you.
A major ruling from the Supreme Court today on abortion, the court striking down a law in Louisiana. Pete Williams has details.
It's another surprising ruling from this conservative Supreme Court and a victory for women seeking abortion like Kimberly O'Brien of New Orleans. Devastated to learn that the child she was carrying would have severe birth defects, she and her husband decided to terminate the pregnancy, but she had to go to Texas.
I ended up having to go 350 miles away to have my abortion because I couldn't get a provider to do it in New Orleans.
Today's ruling struck down a Louisiana law that would have made that even harder, requiring abortion doctors to have admitting privileges at a nearby hospital. Chief Justice John Roberts joined the court's 4 more liberal members in the 5-4 decision. He said the law was identical to one from Texas that the court struck down 4 years ago. Even though he dissented in the Texas case, he said today that it is binding precedent, so Louisiana's law cannot stand. President Trump's 2 nominees, Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh, were among the dissenters. Clarence Thomas said the court's abortion precedents are grievously wrong and should be overturned. Kavanaugh didn't go that far and said the court should have sent the case back to gather more facts on how the Louisiana law would work. The ruling is a big win for advocates of abortion rights, but because Roberts joined only grudgingly, it leaves the door open for more restrictions.
Going into an election year, this is not something that he wanted his court to preside over. He did not want to be the one on record as eviscerating some kind of abortion right.
More decisions tomorrow. Still to come, rulings on whether Congress and a state prosecutor can get President Trump's tax returns. It's clear now this Supreme Court term will last at least another week. Lester?
Pete Williams tonight. Thank you.